Hi, good evening. This is Alok Nandi from SN Forex Consultants. Once again, we come back to the events of the 4th of April this year, wherein RBI took some steps to regulate the foreign currency derivative. On the night of 4th of April, we had updated a video wherein we gave the total background of exactly what happened. Just to recap, since 2008 around 2008-2009, RBI permitted retail traders to trade in the foreign currency derivatives on the exchanges. Subsequently, RBI introduced a limit of $10 million for each individual trader, maximum limit, and it was then, after a couple of years, increased to $100 million. The market very rightly assumed that RBI must have analyzed the requirement of traders before increasing the limit. They must have analyzed who were the people who recorded such a huge individual limit and whether things were going on in the right direction. RBI from time to time in the press statement and in the conversations and various speeches highlighted the fact that the FX currency futures trading were developing a solid base. Volumes were increasing, liquidity was increasing, and this led to the belief that we in India would have a full-fledged currency futures market, which will add to the liquidity in the foreign exchange interbank market. On 5th of January 2024, RBI issued a circular, the preamble to which stated that they were compounding all the previous circulars on forex currency derivative trading into a single market master direction. Inter alia, they stated there was the same things as in earlier circulars, that no trader was required up to a position, as long as he held position below $100 million, to provide any evidence of any underlying exposure when he took the trade. There was, however, a para which said that should the exchange ask him to provide that evidence, he should provide it. But since this has been going on similarly for the last 10 odd years, market did not anticipate any changes. They continued to trade as before. On the 1st of April, when forex markets were closed, but commodity markets were open, the Brokers Association, Commodity Brokers Association, sent a letter and a mail to RBI asking for clarification whether after 4th, that is starting 5th of April 2024, traders will be allowed to continue to trade as before, that is, without an underlying exposure, and no need to provide evidence of such an exposure at the time of taking the trade. Surprisingly and shockingly, a senior official of RBI, a CGM rank, responded to that letter in a letter of his own on the 1st, stating that RBI has not changed its stance on forex currency derivative trading. However, he added a para stating that forex transactions in India are done under the FEMA regulations, and FEMA stated that any foreign exchange transaction done without an underlying commercial exposure would be a violation of the FEMA Act and would invoke the FEMA regulations. This created a panic in the market, and brokers asked all their clients to cut off their position before the close of the 5th of April. At the time when the forex markets opened on the 2nd of April, there were about 7 million open positions. By the end of the closing time, on the 4th of April, the number of open positions has shrunk from 7 million to still 2 million open positions, which was a substantially large number. Shockingly, after the market had closed, I repeat, after the market had closed, RBI issued a press circular stating that they are delaying the implementation of this circular of 5th January from 4th of April, to 3rd of May. This shocked nearly every trader because all of them have been forced to cut their position at a loss or whatever. And they were equally angry that there are traders who held $2 million open positions as of close of business on the 4th and whose traders had not forced them or cut their positions. SEBI also did not issue any clarification as to why they allowed these 2 million positions to be kept open. Just before that, over the month of March, and as in previous 2 months, RBI had been constantly intervening in the market, buying dollars and not allowing rupee to appreciate, despite the fact there was a good amount of inflow into the debt market. RBI bought as much as $22 billion in the months of January, February, and March, and even in the last week of March, they bought over $2.5 billion, which forced the dollar higher to trade around 83.43 at the close of business on the 31st March. When the markets opened on 2nd, there was an immediate demand for dollar, and most traders were forced to cut their positions between the level of 83.37 to 83.45, and in some cases took hefty losses. As we had said in our earlier video, we expected the dollar to drop immediately thereafter, because by that time we were aware that there was a nexus between some traders and SEBI as well as RBI. It so happened that on 5th morning the dollar dropped. In fact, during the course of the day the dollar dropped by 14 or 15 paisa, which is a sizable amount of saving or profit for traders who held 2 million open positions. We wanted to check with RBI. We asked then in our earlier video, and we're asking again as to why did RBI not issue a circular on the 2nd or 3rd or even on the 4th morning clarifying the position or mentioning the delaying of the implementation of the 5th January circular. Knowing very well that 2 million positions were still open, why did RBI act in a manner which was clearly seen as a benefit to those traders who held the 2 million position? They were saving the traders with 2 million open positions from substantial losses or helping them make substantial gains. And RBI did not give any reason for extending or delaying the implementation. If these open positions related to exporters or importers with underlying exposure, there was no need to delay the implementation, because anyway the exporters and importers were covered as per the FIBA laws. So what was this delay in implementation? For whose benefit was it done? We need to ask this question of RBI. Secondly, and equally important, we are asking SEBI to provide information in public about the 2 million open positions. Who were the traders who had the position? Who were the brokers who did not, despite the threat of forcing a closure of the positions, did not cut those 2 million open positions? Who were the people who benefited by this strange act of RBI? Living in a world as we are today, we will firstly and rightly, I think, assume that there was an access between these traders and RBI or some officials of RBI. There is no other reason for RBI to delay the implementation of the 5th January circular. RBI needs to come out in public tell us on whose request. Incidentally, after the MPC meeting on the 5th of April, the governor of RBI, in front of the press, stated that we had extended or we had delayed the implementation from 5th of April to 3rd of May on the basis of a request from some participants. We are amazed. Does RBI act on the basis of request of some participant? Will they act if I ask RBI to delay a policy decision? And surprising thing is that nobody in the media asked RBI as to on whose request did they delay it and why did they delay it? What was the reason? Because anyway, these traders who had open positions were violating the FEMA regulation. RBI had given them 3 months' time to square off the position, yet they held on to their position. And at the end of it, the people who were following the law or who were following RBI's dictates suffered. Where, as it happens in India, people who flout the rules were the main beneficiary. We need to ask RBI to clarify the position. This matter will not be closed by us. We will keep on following it. We will keep on chasing it. We will do it every day, every hour if necessary, till we get the ear of the public, till public starts asking questions of RBI. Who are the officials who asked RBI governor to delay the implementation? And what was the motive behind this delay in implementation? As we will ask SEBI also as to who were these traders who had the open positions and why did the brokers who allowed these traders to have the open position, why did the brokers not cut off the position as they threatened to do for other traders? We will follow it up. This is a big scam in the making, and RBI, to maintain its credibility, should come out in the open and state the truth. Thank you and good evening.